Welcome back. I hope everyone had a decent lunch. All right, Mr. Ottensdorf, who's your client? You're on mute, Mr. Ottensdorf.
Yeah, Elena Maldonado, Judge.
Criminal trial division or family violence?
Family violence, Mr. Villarreal.
All right, well, before Mr. Villarreal goes into a breakout room with you, we're going to take up this matter involving Ms. Bustamante. Ms. Bustamante, are you there?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and where is your client?
Courtroom. Should be in the courtroom.
All right. So is Mr. Rocha in the courtroom?
Judge, they're opening the doors right now.
All right, thank you. And everyone, we're going to take up this matter first because it will be quicker. And then Attorney Rodriguez, you are here. Who are you here for, please?
Christian Vernal. He's in custody.
All right, is that criminal trial division or family violence?
Criminal trial.
Okay. All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 2.
Okay.
And then the person who is on here listed on the 35 thin, what is your name? You need to keep your video on. What is your name, please?
Elena Maldonado. Actually, I was gonna ask you something. Is it okay if I go back to my email because I got sent over something from Michael Villarreal to sign, and that's what I
Yes.
was doing.
Yes,
Is that
you may
okay?
do that. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
Yes.
All right, we are going to go back on the record on 2019 CR 13340, State of Texas versus Fabian Rocha. Can I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Michael Villarreal for the state.
For the defense.
Arely Bustamante for the defense.
And are you Mr. Rocha?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, the court will note for the record, this is a continuation from the hearing this morning. Ms. Bustamante, did you have a chance to confer with your client over your wish to withdraw from his case as his attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and are you still asking to withdraw from this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
And for the record, what are your reasons for the withdrawal?
I am a witness in some of the violations for his MTR.
And this is an oral motion to withdraw. State, do you have any objection to this being an oral motion to withdraw as opposed to a written motion?
None, Your Honor.
Mr. Rocha, your attorney is requesting to withdraw from your case. Are you aware that your attorney wishes to withdraw from your case as your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any objections to that?
No, Your Honor.
All right, the oral motion to withdraw is granted. Are you going to hire an attorney and have one appointed?
If I can have one appointed.
Are you unable to afford an attorney?
Yes, ma'am. I haven't been able to work since I've been on house arrest.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can we get an attorney for Mr. Rocha, please?
Yes, ma'am. Give me just 1 second.
Just give me a moment. We'll have an attorney. And Ms. Ferguson, I'm going to place something in the chat for you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we're going to close the record for now. And Mr. Rocha, Ms. Ferguson is going to see who is up on the wheel for appointments. And if you'll have a seat in the courtroom, as soon as we find out who your attorney is, we'll have them zoom back in the courtroom.
Okay, thank you.
All right, you're welcome. All right, Mr. Valerial, Mr. Otersdorf would like to speak with you. Mr. Otersdorf, if you could go to breakout room number 3, please. Richard Garcia, Mr. Pope.
Sorry, just may I be excused?
If you could remain here, because I'm sure that
Oh,
attorney is going to want to speak with you.
Okay, yes. Yeah.
Thank you. All right, on Mr. Pope.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Your
Yes,
Mr.
what is
Pope,
happening with Mr. Pope?
So you had set Mr. Pope's case for today, for the last day to confer and accept the plea bargain offer that the Assistant District Attorney Marcus had made. And after conferring with Mr. Pope is rejecting the offer.
Right. And he has 4 cases, correct?
Correct, Judge. And they're all habitualized.
All right, thank you.
And so, Judge, if possible, I would like to put it on the record that I explained to him. And so,
No,
that
we'll
it's clear.
place it on the record. Do you need the offer placed on the record in a breakout room with Ms. DeMoss instead of on Zoom?
Either way, whatever the court
No,
would think.
which do you, let me see. I'm asking one in the chat. Whichever is easiest for you, or whatever do you prefer. If you would like to have, because I know if we were in person, sometimes people would like to go to the breakout room to put the offer on the record, or at least have the offer placed on the record where I'm not there.
Yeah, that would be ideal to go to a separate room with the court reporter.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 1, and in breakout room number 1, I won't be able to hear anything and it won't be live. So you can put whatever you want to put on the record with your client. And then once you're done, if you'll come back to the main room, and then I'll put some things on the record.
Sounds good. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. So I'm going to send you and your client to number 1.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. I will sign it right now. Everyone just give me a moment while I sign paperwork.
I just sent you an email.
Okay, I will look at it. Just give me one moment.
Yes. ma'am.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I see you in breakout room number 3, please? Everyone, just give me a moment.
Yeah, yes, sir. Okay. I don't know, Judge. It's just magic. I just have the magic touch. I just have the
Are you in charge, James?
Yes, sir. It's beginning to look that way.
Looks like everybody abandoned us except you.
I know I'm beginning to think it's my personality they don't like. It's pretty hard to explain to two judges you're in two different courts. I couldn't think of a way to do it except holding the phone up and
I only
showing them to each other. You know, like I'm sorry, but if you want me
Oh.
two places at once, I can do it. You know.
well, try 6 like I have.
Yeah.
Did y'all need to go to a breakout room?
Well, I probably need to go. Oh, wait a second. Here we go.
Who's handling the breakouts?
Richard Garcia, are you ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, the court is calling 2021 CR 10970, 2021 CR 10971, 2021 CR 11005, and 2021 CR 11006. State of Texas versus Joe Barry Pope. Can I have defense announced for the record, please?
Judge, this is Richard Garcia for the defense.
And are you Mr. Pope?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Pope, do you have any objection to us proceeding by video?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Garcia, in each of these cases, have you received all the discovery?
I believe I have, Judge. I don't foresee any new discovery.
Was an offer tendered in each of the cause numbers?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, in each of these cases, they were previously set for January 31st, and the plea deadline date was today. And I was actually giving the defendant extra time because on January 11th, the defendant stated that he wanted to speak to relatives about the plea offer. Mr. Pope, did you have a chance to do that?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
All right, and are you rejecting the offer?
I am, Your Honor.
And Judge, before he rejects it, I would also like to add to the record that we just recently got an investigator appointed, Cindy Fisher, and she's only been on the case less than a week. And so that was one that it's in my understanding that one of Mr. Pope's wanting to reject the plea offer at this time is because the investigator has just recently come aboard and
Are you asking for an extension of the plea deadline date?
yes, Your Honor, if you would be so kind, I would send her all the postcards in the world.
Hey, we don't do that here. But I do want to make sure that you've had a chance and your investigator has had a chance to investigate the case. So I extend the plea deadline date. How much time are you asking for, Mr. Garcia?
As long as the court can give us, can you give us, I don't want to, how about 45 days? I was
All right,
going to ask for 60, but
But you saw the look on my face and you were like, no, let's not do that.
yeah.
All right,
I know you too.
Mr. Pope, your attorney is asking for 45 days. So you're the investigator that was appointed can thoroughly investigate the case. Do you understand?
Yes, and I appreciate the extension very much, Your Honor.
All right. So you understand that jury trials will have resumed in March. You understand that?
Yes, yes, Your Honor, I do.
So knowing that you are asking for an extension of your case for 45 days?
Yes, ma'am.
And Judge,
And-
just, I would like to add for the record, that obviously the plea bargains are contingent as to the assistant district attorneys. I don't want Mr. Pope to think that it's up to the court to give the plea bargain, especially when he's indicted as habitual and the district attorney's office is willing to waive the enhancement. So only the district attorney can waive the enhancement. And honestly, I haven't asked if they're willing to extend the plea bargain, but I'm hoping that they will, because
All right, who's the prosecutor on this?
it's Marcus Sanders.
Sanders? Mr. Sanders?
Yes, Judge.
All right, in each of these cause numbers, the defense counsel is telling me that they recently had an investigator placed upon the case. And they're asking for a 45-day extension so that the investigator can do a thorough investigation. And defense is wondering if the offer that the state has tendered will remain open until that date.
Yes, Judge.
All right.
There we
So
go.
Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 45-day reset date on Mr. Pope?
Yes, ma'am. If you give me just 1 second, Judge, I just gotta switch systems.
Mr. Pope, I'm extending your deadline because your counsel has told me that there's an investigator that has been recently appointed. So this 45-day reset that I'm giving you, that is going to be your plea deadline date. Of course, Mr. Garcia, if something happens that your investigator turns up where you need more time, just let the court know.
Certainly, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Judge, can I get in there with the family violence prosecutor, Marco Bass?
Just 1 moment.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Bass, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 3. And I'm just waiting for a date. All right, we're going to come back on April 1st. So your plea deadline is on April 1st. And of course, Mr. Garcia, if you want to come back sooner than that, just let the court know and we'll make sure to put it on the docket.
Judge, I have a vacation notice from April 1st through the 15th.
Where are you headed?
Well, hopefully, I'm crossing my fingers. I'm going to Japan. I bought a ticket to Japan, but Japan is closed to tourists right now. But there's speculation that it's supposed to open on March 31st. So I'm getting
All right,
out.
let's do this. Let's keep it for April 1st just to see if it's
Okay,
closed or open. If it's closed, I'm putting on the docketing sheet that you are saying that you're going to be in Japan.
okay.
All right.
It's a 75% chance that they open.
All right, if you want to put that in the universe, you can. I think you put it in the universe. There's a 75% chance you were going to get your postcard from Antarctica. But where are we?
3 years later.
3 years later.
Judge, I don't like him either.
All right. So everyone will be back on April 1st. We may be back sooner than that, Mr. Pope. It really depends on what the investigator on your case finds and whether or not the defense counsel wants it sooner. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you, Judge. And then I do have another defendant that's waiting for me, Corey Senior. And so hopefully Joe Ray can do the paperwork.
All right. Then Norma, if you can let them know that Mr. Pope 14D can go back, please.
Thank you, Judge. Appreciate it.
Thank you. And then Mr. McLean, who are you here for?
I was here for Ms. Johnson from this morning. I believe Brittany and I got the order over to you regarding that bond, but I needed to get a setting date from you to come back for the contested
All right, and the court does have a motion and it has been signed. And this is going to be a contested.
I think so, Judge.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a contested setting on Ms. Johnson? And Ms. Johnson, if you are released on bond, the date that I give you, you'll need to appear in person in court. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Garcia, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 2. If someone from family violence could go to breakout room number 2, please. And let me rename you.
Judge, mine's not a family violence case.
Oh, it's not CTD?
No. Yes.
All right. I'll send you to
No.
breakout room number 2.
Thank you. Or it says 7. Joe
Oh,
Ray.
I haven't changed you yet. Give me time. Give me time.
Okay.
But Joe Ray is now with CTD, so you can go there.
Okay.
Thank you. All right. So we're going to come back on your case for contested on March 9th.
March 9th.
Yes.
Check that day, Judge. Give me 1 second.
And that'll be at 2.
March 9th at 2. That actually works fantastic. That is the best day you could have done it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right, Norma, you can let them know that L22 can go back. Okay. Thank
Bond
you.
is 9,000, Ms. Johnson. So if you can get somebody to bond you out,
Okay,
contact
and
me as soon as you do. You've got my information, right?
yes, sir. And when is the bond like available to go?
It's
It
being
should-
put in the system today.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
You're welcome.
All right.
Right. Judge, thank you. Be excused.
Yes.
Thank you. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you too. Mr. Rodriguez on Bernal.
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor. Prosecutor says that he's picked up two new number ones in Comal County. They don't have any information on it. They don't have the reports. And they can't do anything until they find out what are the facts.
All right, who's the prosecutor you were speaking to?
Oh, I didn't get his name. Let me see. I think there was only one, right?
Okay. All right, Ms. Ferguson, can we set Mr. Bernal for a contested hearing, please? And if you can give them a 30-day reset.
Okay.
All right, it'll be March 16th. Mr. Bernal, if you're out of custody, oh, I think he's gone. All right, Norma, Mr. Bernal just left, but he's coming back on March 16th. He
Yeah, I
actually
think-
went to a breakout room. I don't know why he went to breakout room number 7.
Well, I don't know either.
That was my fault, Judge. I sent the wrong defendant. Sorry.
That's okay. At least you called it. Mr. Bernal, you're
Yes,
coming
ma'am.
back on March 16th for a contested hearing at 2 p.m. If you're not in custody, then you need to make sure you come to the court, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Thank
Norma, L12 can go back.
May I be excused, Your Honor?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Enriquez, if I could see you in breakout room number 1, please.
Judge, before you go over there, I'm gonna have to shut down and restart my computer. It's acting up.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Norma, can you meet me in breakout room number 1, please? All right, we're just waiting on Mr. Bass. You made it back, Rebecca?
Yes, everything was acting up, not wanting to open.
I'm telling you, the best thing is to restart. And to the clerks, I'm sending you another motion. If you could please print that out for me,
Yes, Judge.
because again, my printer does not work. John Kuntz, is that you?
Yes, Judge. How are you doing?
Oh, I am doing great. Can I see you in breakout room number 1, please?
Yes, ma'am. Sure.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Rocha and Ms. Bustamante. All right, Norma, can you see where Ms. Bustamante is, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Judge, can I make an announcement or you want to hold on?
Just one moment.
Okay.
Let me just set everyone up here and then I'll let you make your announcement. Yes, Mr. Bass.
Oh, Judge, on both of mine, discovery looks to be good, but I need to confer with my client. So at this time, I'm asking for a reset on both.
All right, who are your clients? It's
Tristan Rodriguez and Jesse Salinas.
where is Jesse Salinas? Is he in custody?
No, he was on all morning. Jesse, you there? Maybe, I don't know, maybe he logged up. I'm not sure what happened, Judge. But he
All
was,
right.
he was here. I've been in contact with him all morning.
All right. And let me see where Miss Bustamante is. Mr. Oderstorff, is your paperwork completed?
Judge, I think so. I've turned in everything sent to me. I think Ms. Maldonado might have been able to too.
Okay, so the paperwork is coming back to you. They're going to need your client to go to a breakout room so they can swear in if they have not already done so.
I think they did that because Robert came on with me a little while ago.
Yeah, I did swear in, Judge. The only thing I'm waiting to get back is the sort of appeal, the consent, and the app for deferred.
All right, I sent that just now.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
You're
If
welcome.
I'll be back there in a bit then.
Thank you. Ms. Ferguson, do we have an update on Ms. Bustamante?
Said she had to leave to zoom into another court, Judge.
All right, tell her we need her to zoom into this court.
It's going to voicemail, Judge, and I'm sending her an email right now.
All right, thank you. So, Mr. Coots, just give us one moment because I want you to get the information on this case from Ms. Bustamante and also whatever information the state has.
I appreciate it, Judge. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Mr. Rocha, we're going to end up going back on the record when Ms. Bustamante is here, but your new attorney is going to be Attorney John Koontz. So just be patient, have a seat.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
You're welcome. And Ms. Ferguson, if I can have a 30-day reset on Mr. Rodriguez, and it's just a regular reset.
And is that on Jesse Salinas too, Judge?
Yes.
Okay, both of them. Are we excused, Judge?
Well, you haven't got the date yet.
Oh, I thought you were gonna email. Okay.
No. All right, we're going to come back on March 16th.
Got it. Perfect.
All right, you and your client are excused.
Thank you, Judge. Good to see you.
All right, you too. All right, Ms. Maldonado, if you could find a seat for me, please, or someplace stationary, because I'm getting a lot of feedback from your end. Michael Villarreal, are you on this case or is it someone else? It's Elena Maldonado.
I am, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Court is calling 2022 CR 0268 State of Texas versus Elena Maldonado. Can I have the parties announced for the record for the state?
Michael Villarreal for the state.
For the defense?
Jim Altersdorf for Ms. Maldonado.
And are you Ms. Maldonado?
Yes.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
None, Your Honor.
Any objection from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Maldonado, I'm showing you what's entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video Conference. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm showing you what's entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Maldonado, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment? And I'm sorry, you did not sign the,
Uh-oh.
you did not sign the bill of the True Bill of Indictment.
I was
Brenda,
wondering
that's
about
what-
that.
Yeah, Brenda, that's what happens when you're trying to do three things at once. I'm reading the chat box, sending emails back to the clerks. So this document is entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Your Honor. State's proceeding on the lesser included offense of burglary of a habitation with the intent to commit an assault, a second-degree felony.
Any objections?
No objections.
Ms. Maldonado, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand what you're charged with as a lesser included offense is burglary of a habitation with intent to commit assault? That's a second-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to a jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call them the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication? I'm sorry, did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication? If for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty, not grant you community supervision, and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
You believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
She does, Your Honor.
You believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
She is and she was, Your Honor.
Ms. Maldonado, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargaining agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Mr. Oltersdorf, we're going to go off the record on your case for a moment because Ms. Bustamante had been here this morning, and I know she has to be in another courtroom. I want to take up this matter very quickly with Mr. Rocha.
No problem, Your Honor. Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it. Mr. Kuntz, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
And I'm sorry, I'm still in Megan's office, so I could have moved over to my computer, but we're here.
Okay, thank you. All right, we're going to go back on the record. In 2019 CR 13340, State of Texas versus Fabian and Rocha. The attorney for Mr. Rocha was Ms. Bustamante. Ms. Bustamante, without objection, made an oral motion to withdraw from Mr. Rocha's case due to Ms. Bustamante stating that she was going to be a witness to the allegations that are alleged in the Motion to revoke deferred adjudication. Mr. Rocha requested a court-appointed attorney, and the attorney that came up on the wheel was Mr. John Kuntz. I put that on the record so that everybody can be caught up on what has transpired. So,
Sure. Thank you.
Mr. Rocha, your new attorney, your court-appointed attorney is going to be Mr. John Kuntz. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm going to reset your case so that your attorney will have a chance to investigate everything that he needs to investigate and obtain the discovery he needs to obtain. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, the date for this is going to be March 16th. And on that date, Mr. Kuntz, that's just the date for you to get all the discovery. And then if there needs to be a contested hearing, the court will set that contested hearing. The other thing that has happened in this case, so that new counsel is aware of, Mr. Rocha has cases that occurred out of county. He made bond, and that bond was made in the county where he was. And there's been some issues, and I think Ms. Bustamante can talk to you about this, that it's not been placed in the system here, but I have not issued, or had him taken into custody because we know it's in the system and the courts have called the other county.
Okay. Which county was that, Judge?
Mr. Rocha, which county?
Hartley County. Hartley County.
Where's that?
If I'm not mistaken, it's two separate counties adjoined because they're both so small. So it's Dahlem County and Hartley County.
Hartley, Hortley.
Okay, we'll talk more about it, Mr.
All right, so if there's nothing else, I'll close the record on this case and I will send defense counsels into the breakout room first. And Mr. Kuntz, then if you wish to speak with Mr. Rocha, I'll send him in the breakout room next.
That'd be great, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you. And I will send you all to breakout room number 1. So Mr. Kuntz, if you go back to breakout room number 1, and Ms. Bustamante, if you can go to 1.
Thank you, Your Honor. Always a pleasure being seen in front of you. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you so much. And I appreciate your patience.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
All right, you too.
Thank you.
And John Kuntz, you're already assigned to breakout room number 1.
Okay, we'll go right now. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Otzesdorf, thank you for your patience. We are back on the record. Ms. Maldonado, I'm going to show you what's the page entitled plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is proceeding on a lesser included offense of burglary of habitation with intent to commit assault. There's a $1,000 fine. State recommends deferred adjudication. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that to be the entirety of the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. The state is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 4 years. There'll be a TAP evaluation, 100 hours of community service restitution, no contact with Jerry, Jerry, Gonzalez, Gonzales, the BIP course and parenting classes. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offenses charged in as a lesser included burglary of habitation with intent to commit assault, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, any evidence to support the defendant's no contest plea?
Yes, Your Honor. State would offer State's Exhibit number 1 and its attachment.
Any objections?
No objections, Your Honor.
Showing what's entitled waiving consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, the court will defer finding of guilt as you applied for deferred adjudication. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
We can, Your Honor. We waive a PSI.
All right, anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, the important stuff obviously is before you, and I know you're aware she basically has no record anywhere in any jurisdiction. It's not before you that she has worked in the medical field since she was graduated from high school. Currently, she works for a cardiologist. And I just think she's going to be a great candidate for deferred adjudication.
All right, who is Ms. Maldonado?
Yes, ma'am.
There's some serious issues in here. So what is your relationship to the complainant?
Would that be Jerry?
Well, let's start with that. What's your relationship to Jerry?
He was a boyfriend.
All right, and the other witness, was that his new girlfriend?
I think so.
All right, so why did you climb through? It says here, you were sitting outside the victim, Jerry, I guess, was sitting outside the residence with small lacerations to both wrists. The victim informed me that the suspect, which is you, a person he currently has a protective order against, broke into the home in an attempt to hurt, I guess, the new girlfriend. Victim stated that suspect broke open the screen over his window and climbed through the window without victim's consent. So you know you can't have any contact with Jerry. You understand that?
Oh yeah, I know.
All right. So they're asking for parenting classes. Do you have children?
I do, but they're not with him.
Well, how old are your children?
My daughter's 15 and my son is 13.
All right. Where were they when all of this was happening?
They were with my mom.
Why were they not with you?
Because I didn't take them over there because I had a protective order against him. And I was going to go pick up 2 baskets of clothes that I had and their laptops for school.
Are you saying you have a protective order against him or he has a protective order against you?
No, we had one, but they expired.
That's just for clarification. She had a protective order or a bond condition that he was not supposed to contact her. He's currently on probation for continuous family violence assault, where she's listed as the victim.
Okay. So do you have any other connections with him or children with him?
No. None at all.
There's no other reason to contact him?
No.
Do you have all your children's stuff that you were going to pick up?
Yes.
All right. This is what the court is going to do. $1,000 fine. That will be probated.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no contact with Jerry Gonzalez. 4 years deferred adjudication. 100 hours of community service restitution. 40 of those hours will be waived if you provide proof that you've had the COVID vaccination. The court is not requiring anyone to do that, but if you do it, that will be 40 hours waived. the BIPP course, parenting classes. If you complete the parenting classes, which you must, the court will waive the remaining of the community service hours. There's to be proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment with minors. My understanding, she's not a home healthcare provider, but she's working with someone. Is that correct, Mr. Otosor?
Judge, I've explored this with her extensively. She works for a cardiologist who has an office. She prepares patients for different tests, and she's been with him for about 8 or 9 months. But as I spoke about earlier, she's been in the medical care field since she graduated from high school.
All right, I'm going to say no employment with minors or as a home healthcare provider. That's, for me, that's going into individual homes. If she's doing well on probation and if something happens, of course, I'll reconsider. But since you're telling me her current job that she has is not as a home healthcare provider, then this wouldn't fit under that umbrella.
Elena, what doctor do you work for?
Dr. Michael Barnett.
Thank you.
All right, there's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Regular UAs or patch. Rebecca, is there anything else that she needs?
Were you gonna do field visits, Judge?
We'll do field visit 1 time per month.
That was everything.
All right, thank you. Ms. Maldonado, is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
No, I just wanted to know, in order to get the 40 hours waived for the community service, where do I submit my COVID that I had both of my?
Probation will give you that, probation will let you know where to submit that, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you
Yes, ma'am.
electronically sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And also because there's an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you desire to know or want to know what the definition of a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to consult your attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, with that, we'll close the record. Ms. Maldonado, good luck to you.
Thank
Next
you.
time in a
Appreciate it.
situation, all right, next time in a situation like this, you know what you do? You call the police and you tell the police, I need to go pick up my children's thing. They'll escort you over, okay?
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
Call me,
All right,
Elena.
thank you. Have a great rest of your day. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 2. Probation is going to meet you there and go over your conditions, okay?
Okay, thank you.
And
Have a
Elena,
good
if you have any questions, just give me a call, okay?
Okay, thank you. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
All right, everyone, we're going to stop live stream. That is the end of our day today. We're going to start tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Judge,
Yay.
we have one more, Judge.
Wait a minute. What do you mean we have one more?
One more plea. We have one more plea.
Okay. She let me go all through that, Brennan. I was excited.
Sorry.
I could do paperwork.
Sorry, Judge. Sorry.
That's okay. Brennan, what has the world come to where I'm excited that I can get the paperwork done that's been given to me?
And Judge, I'm assuming that you would want me to potentially confer with Mr. Kuntz today?
Yes.
Okay.
And he's still in number 1 speaking with Ms. Bustamante.
Yes, ma'am.
And if you want to pop your head in there and tell them you'll be waiting here for them, then that's fine.
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Judge, and it's Richard's case, Richard's client who's in jail. It's Mr. Senor.
Okay.
He's on page 13.
All right, thanks. All right, we're ready on Mr. Senor.
Senior, Your Honor.
Senior, okay.
Yes.
Senor.
Thank you.
It's San Antonio, but.
Yeah.
See,
I
look
know.
at me. See, this is what happened. I try to put a little accent on it to show people that I'm learning my Spanish. And then, yeah, it's not on this one. Okay.
It's okay. I get it
It's a
all the
good thing
time.
his last name's not Senior Junior.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine?
I've been getting that joke since I was in elementary school.
It's funny.
All right, the court is going to call 2021 CR 6027, State of Texas versus Corey Senior. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Joe Ray Garcia.
for the defense?
Judge Richard Garcia for the defense.
All right. We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objection from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
And are you Mr. Senior?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you complete a document and sign it and go over it with your attorney entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
And did you understand it?
Yes, I did.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm showing you what's entitled Application for Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Next, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney, and did you understand it?
Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Is proceeding on count 1 and waiving count 2 on the indictment.
Any
No
objection?
objection. No objection, Judge, sorry.
No objection.
Mr. Senior doesn't object either. I like that. All right. Mr. Senior, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor. I believe so.
Did you understand what your charges of possession of controlled substance penalty group 1 gram to 4 grams? That's a third-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes, he has, Judge.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Mr. Senior, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Very.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Off the record for a moment, Mr. Villarreal, Mr. Kuntz is back.
We would like to see if we could put Mr. Rocha in our breakout room 1 with us, please.
All right, to the court, is Mr. Rocha in the courtroom?
He stepped out to the restroom.
All right, as soon as he comes back, can you place him in breakout room number 1, Deputy Laura?
Yes, Judge.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're back on the record. Court will find the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review this page with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, off the record. Rebecca, this is Corey Allen Senior, not Senior.
That's right.
And it's 2021 CR 6027, and they're proceeding on count 1 only.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. We're back on the record. According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is proceeding on count 1, waiving count 2. Punishment is to be assessed at 3 years in the prison. And is this to be $1,000 fine probated?
Yes, Judge.
All right. Any objections to the court correcting that to notate that it's $1,000?
No, Your Honor. In fact, I did tell Mr. Senior that it looked like a typo. I've never seen a $1 probated. So we assumed it was $1,000 probated.
All right. $1,000 fine probated. State recommends community supervision. State will take in consideration county clerk cause number 659516. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement, Mr. Senior?
Yes, I did.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, it is, Judge.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No such motions, Judge.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. The state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 3 years. There be a TAP evaluation and 120 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the offense is charged in count 1. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, any evidence to support the defendant's plea?
State offers State Exhibit 1 and its attachments.
Any objections?
No objection, Judge.
Mr. Senior, I'm showing you what's entitled waiving consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. The court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor, we're asking that you sentence Mr. Senior today.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, we're asking that you follow the plea bargain agreement and assess the 3 years probation. Mr. Senior informs me that he does have a couple of twins that he needs to take care of, and that he had a really good job up to now. And so he's ready to get back to the real world. He understands that he has to comply with all the conditions of probation.
All right, Mr. Senior, how often do you use drugs?
Actually, I've picked up this charge over a year ago, and at the day of my arrest, I was sober, and I had 2 jobs actually. So
I'm sorry, we can't hear what you're saying. You're sort of muffled.
Oh, can you hear me now?
That's better.
At the day of my arrest, I had picked up these charges over a year ago, and on the day of my arrest, I had actually already had 2 jobs, and I was sober. So I'm not using any drugs at the moment. I mean, even on my day of my
But
arrest.
on this day, you were asleep in a vehicle and you had heroin.
Yes, that was over a year ago. But I mean, I had already kicked the heroin 6 months ago.
All right, where are your twins now?
They're with the mother, my baby's mom at
The mother of your children, that's what we
Yes,
say in this
yes,
court. We
yes.
don't say baby mamas.
I'm sorry. Yes, they're with the mother of my children.
All right, has Child Protective Services been involved?
They have, but it's been, I've passed the Child Protective Services. I passed my UAs and all that stuff. And so I do have custody of my kids.
All right, this is what, I'm sorry, go ahead.
And I had also, I had started a Suboxone program, and that's really what, got me off the heroin. So that's how I was able to do it.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to sentence you to 3 years in probation, 3 years in prison, suspended and probated for 3 years, $1,000 fine, probated. Taking consideration County Court Cause number 659516, 120 hours community service restitution. 40 of those hours will be waived if you provide proof that you've had the COVID vaccination. Court is not requiring anyone to get the vaccination, but if you do, 40 of those hours will be deducted.
Okay.
Proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Parenting classes, you must complete those. However, if you complete those, which you must, the remaining of your community service hours will be waived. I'm going to do intensive outpatient treatment with probation. There's to be regular Zoom reporting. If you can't report by Zoom, you're going to do in person. We're going to do random UAs. I'm going to want field visits 3 times per month, random.
Okay.
And what is up with that tattoo that is around your neck?
That's something stupid I had got about
When?
6 or 7 years ago, about 6 or 7 years ago.
How old were you in 6 or 7 years ago?
I was 28.
So what is the tattoo?
It's the first time I went to prison. It was a white thing. So I'm no longer associated or anything. It even says on my record here that I'm ex. So that's nothing. I left that alone whenever I had my kids, basically.
Okay. All right, we're still gonna have to do a gang supervision evaluation to make sure. You understand,
Sure.
Mr. Senior?
Sure.
All right, Rebecca, is there anything? There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors until you complete your parenting classes. You understand?
Even my kids?
Yes. Because here's the thing, you're telling me CPS was involved. I don't have any information that you've completed anything through CPS.
Sure.
If Mr. Garcia is able to bring something to the court that you've completed parenting classes, then the court will reconsider.
Okay.
But until I receive that, I can't have you around children unsupervised. You can be at the house with your twins, but there needs to be another adult there. So they can't be an adult that says, I'm going to the grocery store, you watch the children. You understand?
I understand, and I can get you that document very easily that I did complete it.
All right, make sure you get it to probation.
Okay, no problem.
Rebecca, is there anything else he needs?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Senior, is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
I think that's about it.
All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a question over what ammunition or weapon is, you'll need to contact an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, then good luck to you, Mr. Senior.
All right, thank you so much.
Be sure to get a person to support you in your sobriety, okay? Get a
Okay.
sponsor.
Okay. Thank
All
you
right,
very
I'm
much.
gonna send you to breakout room number 2.
Okay.
And probation will meet you there and go over conditions with you. Mr. Garcia, you can go to breakout room number 2, or either you can be excused.
Thank you, Judge. I've got to go. I've got like 5 calls coming in.
Okay, have a good one.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye. All right, everyone, we're going to stop live stream and we'll be back